This morning I woke up in my new house next to my new boyfriend, his warm body wrapped around mine. The scratch of his beard on my face is becoming familiar to me now. I got up and walked quietly to the kitchen to make my morning coffee, which I took to the back deck. I watched as the night sky surrendered to the light, illuminating the treetops and casting a radiant orange glow over my new town. Had I known I'd survive, I would have missed this breathtaking view. There's an internal shift that occurs when you're told you're going to die. I was 35 years old when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and given 18 months to live. I wrote letters to my then 15-year-old son, Sean, to be given to him at major events in his future. I'd planned on asking my sister to deliver them, knowing that she was strong enough to handle such a thing. I threw away things that I didn't want to be found after I was gone. I mean, how many vibrators do we need really anyway? And I made lists of who should get what when I passed. All shoes would go to my fashionista niece, Emily, and my fur coat to my PETA-loving friend so she could fulfill her desire of tossing paint on it. My hippie best friend would want my crystals to meditate with, so I put that on the list too. I pushed through each grueling treatment, hoping for just a little more time with this wonderful cast of characters. Now it's 5.5 years later, and I've been cancer-free for the last 2. While each clean scan brings feelings of euphoria, there remains a lingering doubt. Will the next scan cause me to hand my body back to my doctor, praying that he can once again fix me? Learning to cope with that fear is a struggle, but it's also been one of the most freeing experiences of my life. The fear of dying helped me to overcome my fear of living. Cancer forced me to take a really hard look at my life. And with an acute awareness of time, I reflected on what brought me joy and what depleted my soul. Well, it didn't take very long for the cracks in my marriage to become glaringly apparent. Had I known I'd survive, I may have settled for the safety of a long marriage that was little more than going through the motions. I would never have met the man who made me understand that love at first sight exists. I would have missed the awkwardness and excitement of my new naked, the peculiarity of being called someone's girlfriend at 40, the pure delight of being with a partner not because we have a history, but because we want to build a future. Had I known I'd survive, I may not have traveled the world. I would have been too worried about nest eggs and rainy days. I would have missed climbing the Acropolis in Greece, with the ice-cold water splashing my face as I sailed the Norwegian fjords and watching the sun rise after partying all night in Barcelona. I never would have had that argument with the German cab driver who was a Trump supporter and stormed out of his cab, found the first bar, and stayed there drinking beer until closing. I learned to play the accordion that night from Wayne, our Hillary-supporting waiter. If I'd known I'd survive, I may have remained a helicopter parent instead of allowing Sean to make mistakes. I wouldn't have noticed that I was suffocating his growth. Not knowing how much time I had left allowed me to simply enjoy being with him. I noticed how the hair I'd always complained was too long fell adorably over his eyes. With our guards down, he would allow me to brush it aside and let my hand linger on his cheek. I studied his face, the gold flecks in his eyes, the creamy complexion he got from his father's side. When you think you're going to die, you know that these moments are precious and you hold on to them with everything you have, and you pray that your memory will be the last thing to go. I moved into my new house by myself in June 2016. Having had a child when I was only 19, living alone was one of the things I felt I'd missed out on. But people ask, what if something goes wrong? What if you get sick again? My answer, right now, at this moment, I'm healthy. Right now, I am ridiculously happy. Right now, I will walk in the direction of my dreams.